Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports and our football video, and today I'm going over my Week 2 predictions for the 2024 NFL season. I do predictions on the channel every single week. I actually didn't do Week 1 weekly predictions just because I was very busy last week, but I did do a playoff and Super Bowl prediction video if you want to check that out. These are my Week 2 predictions and the start of my weekly predictions for the season. With that being said, I will also be going over my last week picks, so let's get right into it. First off, we have my Week 1 recap. I didn't do specific score predictions, but I did put in my predictions on pigskin pickem. So I was able to reference that to tell you what my Week 1 picks were. I had the Ravens over the Chiefs, the Eagles over the Packers. I had Falcons beating the Steelers. I had the Bills over Cardinals, Bears over Titans, Texans over the Colts, Finns beating the Jaguars, Bengals beating the Patriots, the Saints beating the Bengals. Sorry, not the Bengals. The Panthers, the Vikings over the Giants, Seahawks beating the Broncos, Chargers over Raiders, Commanders beating the Bucks, Cowboys beating the Browns, and the Lions beating the Rams. I only got 4 wrong. I got the Bucks-Commanders game wrong. I got the Patriots-Bengals game wrong. I got the Falcons-Steelers game wrong, and I got Bills, one other one wrong. But for the most part, I did pretty good last week. I almost picked the Patriots just out of pure fandom and wanting my team to win, but I thought that the Bengals were realistically going to win. I wasn't expecting Joe Burrow, Week 1 Joe Burrow, to continue to be Week 1 Joe Burrow. I thought that he would have figured it out this season. Anyways, after those predictions, let's get into my next week predictions. For Week 2, we're starting off with Thursday Night Football. We have Dolphins versus Bills. I have the Bills winning 30-27 in this AFC East matchup. I was hoping that the Bills and the Dolphins, one of them would lose last week. They were both down by quite a bit at some point, but neither of them were able to come back. Both of them were able to come back and win, unfortunately. This week, one of them has to lose, and so I am predicting the Bills to win. The Bills' offense looked more cohesive throughout the game. They put up a lot of points on the Cardinals. And the Miami defense didn't look all world, so I think that Buffalo is going to have a decent chance, and I think that Josh Allen, even though they're in Miami, I think that Josh Allen is going to want to prove he can do everything he's been doing the last 2 years without Stephon Diggs and with the receivers that he has. Moving on to Sunday at 1 o'clock, we have Cowboys-Saints. I have the Cowboys beating the Saints 23-20. The Saints had a pretty solid Week 1. They were able to demolish the Panthers 47-10 or whatever. And then the Cowboys also had a pretty demolition derby of a win, beating the Browns 33-17. Both of those games were demolitions, but I do believe that the Cowboys have a more consistent team. The Saints, obviously their offense looked great, but they were against the Panthers. I don't really know who the Saints are yet because I need to see them play a legitimate team. I think they'll keep it close. I don't think it'll be the closest game ever, but I do think that the Saints will keep it within a score or two, and it'll be 23-20. Jets-Titans, I have the Jets winning 16-13. I don't know what to expect from the Jets either. The Jets have not played yet this week. They're playing against They're playing against the 49ers tonight, so I'm posting this on Monday. But I think that they will be able to beat the Titans. The Titans don't look great. Their offense looks poor. I think that the Jets' offense is going to struggle at the beginning of the season just because Aaron Rodgers is new to the system. But I think that even though it could take some time, I think that they will develop relatively quickly. The Jets will win. It'll be a matter of margin of victory, in my opinion. I think that 16-13 is a fair guess, though. Washington versus the Giants. I have the Commanders winning 20-10. Not much to say about for this one. The Giants are horrendous. Washington, I think, is going to have a good offense this year. They just need Jaden Daniels to get more snaps under center, and they need to get a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more cohesiveness on offense. Colts versus Packers. I have the Colts winning 20-17. With the injury to Jordan Love, I think the Packers are most likely going to be out of the playoffs unless they do really well without him. Jordan Love, I think, was the main reason why the Packers' offense was so good last year. But they do have a lot of weapons, and I think that they could be decent even until he returns. That being said, the Colts offensively last week were so explosive. They were Anthony Richardson was phenomenal. I think he's going to have a great career, and I think the Colts are just going to put up too many points against the Packers this week in order for them to handle it. The Packers' defense was okay, but they were poor in the second half. I think the Colts are going to have a lot of tape to try and work with on this Packers defense. Chargers versus Panthers. The Chargers winning 30-13. I think the Chargers are going to want to make a statement. They're going to want to say, hey, we're not the Chargers from last year. We're not going to go 5-12. We're going to put up some numbers. We're going to play some good games. I think that 30-13 is a fair estimate. I think that the Panthers are going to get walloped almost every week. And I think that the Chargers' defense is good enough to hold them to 13, and their offense is good enough to put up quite a few points. Niners versus Vikings. I have the 49ers winning 40-39. I do think that 34, sorry. I do think that the Vikings are going to put up a fight. They do have a relatively competent offense, and Sam Darnold looked phenomenal during week 1. I think that this is going to be an offensive shootout, and I think that even though the 49ers defense is going to play well, I think that the Sam Darnold's going to get a garbage time touchdown to bring the game into a 1-score game. I think it'll be probably a 2-score game most of the contest until the very end. But I do think it'll be a close score towards the end of the game. I think that Sam Darnold's going to play well. Jags-Browns have the Jags winning 18-17. Both of these teams were a little disappointing in week 1. The Jaguars almost beat the Dolphins. They started off strong, but the Dolphins were able to come back. And then for the Browns, they just played horrendous. So I expect the Jaguars to win, but I don't really know what to expect from either of these teams right now at the start of the season. Lions-Buccaneers, I have the Lions winning 33-30. The Lions are one of those teams where they're going to win, but they're going to make it fun, you know. The defense isn't going to play phenomenal. They're going to let up a good number of points, but the offense is going to score enough to win. I think that the Buccaneers offense looked incredible week 1. Baker Mayfield looked way better than I expected him to. I thought that Baker Mayfield was going to regress like he usually does every other year, but this year was not the year, and so our last week was not the week. I think that he's going to continue to play at a high level, but it's not going to be quite enough to win next week against the Lions. Patriots versus Seahawks. This is a home game for the New England Patriots. I have the Patriots winning 27-23. The Seahawks played well in week 1, but they weren't against a very formidable opponent in the Broncos. I think that the Patriots have the advantage because of the home field advantage. I think that the Patriots offense played well, and that was the first week under the new system. The defense looked phenomenal. The defense was exactly what I was hoping it would be. We didn't lose a step from last year, even though a lot of our defensive guys are gone. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to have a lot of trouble scoring against the Patriots, and the Patriots will be able to win. And with Ravens-Raiders, this isn't even a question. I don't even know why I gave the Raiders 20 points, but I did. I think this will be a blowout. I think it'll be astronomical proportions. Moving on to Sunday afternoon, we have the Rams against the Cardinals, we have the Steelers against the Broncos, and we have the Chiefs against the Bengals. I think that the Rams are going to improve to 1-1 this week, beating the Cardinals 26-23. Arizona's a formidable opponent. They played very well against Buffalo this week, but the Rams are going to want to get that first win of the season. I think that the Rams are a more consistent team, both offensively and defensively. They played Detroit very well this week, bringing them to overtime. And I think that the Rams are going to have just enough in it to beat the Cardinals this week. I think that the Rams' offense is just going to get better as the season goes on. Kyron Williams looked okay. Puka Nacua looked okay. But overall, the Rams' offense looked like it had a lot to be desired, and I think that they're going to continue to improve. Steelers-Broncos, I have the Steelers winning 13-11. This is going to be the worst game of the week. I apologize for Steelers fans, and for Broncos fans, this will just be a horrendous game. Until Russell Wilson comes back from injury, I don't see the Seahawks, the Steelers being a phenomenal threat on offense, and then they're just going to smother every team defensively. And then for the Chiefs-Bengals game, I have the Chiefs winning 40-37. I think the Bengals are going to figure out their offense after their woes of week 1. I think that it's going to be a tight game, but I do think that the Bengals are going to fall to 0-2 to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that Joe Burrow is one of the best opportunities in the AFC to dethrone Patrick Mahomes as the AFC champion, but that being said, the Bengals need to make it to the AFC championship in order to do that. And right now, the Bengals, based on how last season ended and how this first week started, the Bengals aren't looking great. I'm picking the Chiefs in this one, but I do think that there could be an upset if the Bengals are really thinking like, hey, if we go down 0-2, it could be hard to make the playoffs and win the Super Bowl this year. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, we have Texans versus Bears. This is actually a very interesting matchup. The Bears played okay in week 1. Caleb Williams played bad. He was very inefficient, but he didn't turn the ball over. So that's the bright spot. The Bears won because of their defensive touchdowns. The Titans are not a good team. And so the fact that the Bears-Titans game was so close does concern me for the Bears. That's why I'm picking the Texans. I think that the Houston Texans are an established good team. They're going to continue to be good, and C.J. Stroud is going to very quickly pass Deshaun Watson as the best quarterback in Texans history. That being said, the Bears are going to put up a fight. I think Caleb Williams is going to find his stride this week, but the Texans will ultimately come home with the win. Finally, we have Eagles against Falcons. I think the Falcons offense is going to figure it out a little bit more this week. Not quite enough to beat the Eagles, but they're going to figure it out a little bit. The Eagles' defense is solid, and their offense has been inconsistent, so we'll see how that goes. I do think that the Eagles' offense will be good enough to score on the Falcons' defense, though. The Falcons' defense is not great. And this will be a close game. It'll be a tight game, but I do think the Eagles are going to ultimately win and advance to 2-0 while the Falcons drop to 0-2. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, join the Discord because we talk football every Sunday and some other days throughout the week. So if you want to talk football with some other guys, make sure to join the Discord and have some fun. So I'll see you guys. The link will be in the description for that. So I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.